Welcome back to Adventure Pete. It's glad to see you here. So, what are we doing today? We're replacing the marker turn signals on these heavy-duty tow mirrors of this 2024 Chevrolet 2500HD. So if this is your first time here, make sure to like the video, comment, tell us what you think, tell us what else you want to hear about, and subscribe. We got a lot of great content coming and a lot of great cool content on the channel itself, so be sure to check it out. So, why are we doing this today? We love our running boards with the sequential turn signal lights, so we contacted our friends at Boost Auto again to get the matching turn signal lights that go right down the side here. So as you can see, you can get them amber and white. We chose to go with amber and sequential again, just like our running boards. As you can see right here, they're a great quality product. They're a great company to work with, so we really enjoy working with them. So be sure to check them out. So the first thing to do with these powered mirrors is we need to get them halfway out. Easiest way I found to do it is simply just roll down the window, press the power extend button, and hold my hand here once they get to the halfway out position to stop it in place. The way these motors work is once they make their full rotation, they have a amperage limit switch inside them, so they know when they get to the full out position that they will shut off. You can just pull these motors and override them, but I don't like to do that to possibly break the gears inside the internal mechanism. So I just simply press the button, hold my hand there, and it works out very well. As you can see, they are halfway out. The reason being is later on, this cover will have to be pushed back a little bit to be able to get these lights out. So we do have to have it part way out just like this. The next step in the process is with this mirror, I push the bottom one all the way in so I can get my fingers back around the bottom side, and I will tip this one all the way out. Once you get it out, you can see the tangs right here on the mirror itself. You can actually reach in there and start popping them up to try to help pop this out, and reach down the sides as well to get them out. Try to do this as safely as possible, try and not break the glass. So that's why I take my time and just use my fingers to work it out. Once it pops out, the next one to do is the upper mirror itself. Similar process where you actually tip it all the way up, and then you reach back there and try to grab the tangs and pop it out. There is a screwdriver slot in there, but you got to be very careful with that because prying up on this can create a sharp point on the back side of the glass and crack the glass itself. So always take your time to be sure and be careful with it because it is replaceable, but try not to do that. So take your time and work it out and break it away freely. Once you get that off, there will be simply a couple wires on there, depending on the options and the features that you have on the back side of these mirrors, that you'll have to disconnect. Just disconnect them, lay them off to the side, and go from there. Our LTZ upper mirrors just simply had a one connector right up there, and then these two spade terminal right there. So that's all that was. It was pretty simple and easy to get this off and get them out of there. Everybody has different features and functions on their mirrors, but this is just a standard LTZ base model, so that's all we had. The next step, once we get those out, is these 4 T15 screws right here. They all have to get removed, so this outer face can come out. So be sure when you pull this face that this side piece doesn't drop out because it's held in just by push down to there and the back side of this. So when you pull that face off, just make sure to catch that when it comes out. Something worth mentioning when you try to pull this apart, you see that little clip that's right there? That's actually holding this whole mirror on right there at the bottom. So make sure if you need to take a screwdriver in there and pop that out, try not to break them that are in there. So just worth mentioning. I was able to tip it out far enough to get the side panel out to be able to see down in there, but just as a heads up. Once you get it out, make sure to disconnect the spotlight. That's on the side right there from that little connector. It just pulls right off, and this can get pulled out of the way. Next thing to do is remove the motor. I always take arrows and point it up so I know which way the orientation is. It does have a arrow marker on there, but I always like to write on there just because you're never going to see it and it makes reassembly easier. So you got to take the 4 screws out. You got one right there, 2 right there, opposite side, you got another one, and then another one. Sometimes the easiest way to do it is press it down on that side, gets you a little closer to it, pull them out, do it on the other side as well, and this will come off, disconnect the wires. So this is the connector right there. That's from the back side of the motor. It's that right up there. So all you do is disconnect it. Next thing we got to do is the screw right there, this screw right there. That will release the front plastic face from the back half This screw right here needs to get taken out. That will release the light fixture itself from that front housing plastic. Then we'll have this connector right here. That's what actually runs the light. That'll get disconnected. Then we'll be able to pull that out from the side and install the new one. As you can see, we got it out. So this is it right there. It does come out through this side. You do have to put some pressure on this to try to bend it back to get it out through as best as possible. But once you slip it through and out, there it is. Not too bad so far. This is everything laid out, fully disassembled. Pretty quick and easy. All I've needed to do was a T15 Torx on a nut driver. Everything's been accessible. And then right here, here's the new lights. So we'll match it up, find the one we need, and start putting it back together. So you can see the difference between the two. This one has that little serrated, so they can just use one LED light in the corner that illuminates everything. They switched up to a full bar, just like the LUMASTEP steps. That actually creates light across the whole thing, a nice even beam instead of kind of having the spottiness to it. And this will also sequentially light as we go. I still retain function of my spotlights, just like the factory does, just a little different colors. I chose to keep the clear lens. You can get this in a smoke lens application. And to know which one you need is right here. L for left, so that is the driver's side right there. There's R for right, so I know I'm using the correct one for the side I'm working on. So you can see I've already got it slid back in. It's pretty quick and easy. I've already got the connector reattached. Now I'm just going to start putting screws back in, reassembling it just like we took it apart. I'm going to put the motor back in, same way we took it out. Arrow's facing up. We've got to make sure we put the connector in first. Then we'll start in the upper right hand corner where we took the last screws out, then flip it back to the other side and put the other screws back in. Now that everything is secured there, next thing we do is need to reinstall this side piece. It'll just simply clip in there, and then when we install the face that's here, that'll hold that in place. So it'll be a two-handed process, but we'll get it back together and get it screwed back in. The key note with all this is these are screws into plastic. Make sure you don't over tighten them and strip them out, because that is a bad thing. So take your time, do it by hand. It may take a few more minutes, but this doesn't take that long, this overall process, but it'll make sure you save a lot of headache in the long run. Face is in, all the screws are reinstalled. Always make sure when you put that back on, make sure you get that connector through the hole, and these ones are here so you don't lose them or forget them and have to take it all back apart when you're trying to put the mirrors back on. To install this mirror, make sure you put the connection back on there and simply just push it on there and take your palm of your hand and just give a nice firm press right in the center. You'll feel it snap into place. Then you can tip it to make sure that everything feels like it's tight and where it should be. There's no wiggle to it, and you're good to go. Next thing to do is the lower mirror. Same process, same thing. Just make sure you get over the snaps and palm press it in. Then you should be good to go. We'll bring the mirror back in. And there you go. Both mirrors are intact. You can see the new strip on there. So next thing to do is test and then reset all the mirrors where you enjoyed them and where they worked for you again. As you can see, other side's pretty quick and easy once you get used to it. This project probably takes about a half-hour aside, so it's a nice easy way to get something done in the morning, just like we're doing today. And it's a nice upgrade. Now that we got the other side done, I actually took both turn signal markers. I actually put the plastic back on them again, just like they came. Put them back in this box. I'm actually going to put them back in the box that they came in, because this box is a really nice box. And save them for later, or sell them off for somebody else that needs them. So, great company to work with, and these are just great markers altogether. So that was the full install on the marker lights for these heavy duty trucks. I really like these parts. They're really nice. They look amazing on these tow mirrors, and they look just like the factory almost. So I really enjoyed putting these in there. It wasn't that long to do, so I think I was just about over an hour. First time I took my time, just making sure the one side was done, but the second side you move a lot quicker. So always be sure to take your time, make sure you do it right, because obviously you don't want to have issues with these when you're going down the road. But I enjoyed putting them on there. This was the full install on the 2024 Chevrolet 2500HD. So if you want a set just like this, there's a link in the description. And be sure to check out boostautoparts.com for all their other great options and accessories, because I really like these. They match the steps, which also match the animated headlights that the truck has. So I think it all around makes a really cool setup. So if you enjoyed the video, like the video, comment, tell us what you think, tell us what else you want to hear about, and subscribe. We got a lot of great content coming, a lot of great content already on the channel, so be sure to check it out, and have a great adventure.